As a first step, in this part I'm going to talk about the lexical relations, focusing on two scenes using synonymy, words with similar meaning, antonymy, words with an opposite meaning, hyponymy, a relationship where the hyponym is more specific under the hypernym, meronymy, a part-whole relation between words, and finally, the polysemy, when a word has multiple related meanings. We find the first synonymy when both Ross and Fink repeat the word amazing to express positive feelings and their agreement. For the antonymy, Rosses say, solitary life, referring to being alone, in opposite to hang out and do stuff, contrasting with Fink's isolation. For the hyponymy, Rosses use the expression struggling to survive as a broader concept of survive, facing with Fink's harsh conditions. For the meronymy, we use island and its dangers. Rosses uses to refer to the various components of the island, like the dangerous predators or environmental threats. And for the polysemy, Fink says to Ross, who says you need to live, focusing on the word live, meaning the metaphorical separation, reflecting on Ross's inner conflict. As a second example, we hear the synonym when Fink uses the word hate to emphasize the tension among the group of animals, as well when Ross uses the terms survive and alive as a need to persist despite the challenges they might face. For the antonymy, Ross says instincts and more than program, using instincts to represent the natural behavior and program to the predetermined actions. For the hyponym, Fink uses storm under survival to represent the challenges they have to endure as a broader concept of survival. For the meronymy, Fink says place and shelter to represent the physical aspect of their survival strategy, like the place they are on the scene. And for the polysemy, Rosses uses promise in a meaning of verbal commitment and moral obligation, marking her choices and leadership.
Hi, my name is Emma, and today I'll explore on how deixis, reference, and anaphora function in the dialogue, using examples from the movie. Deixis. Deictic expressions rely on context to convey meaning. For example, at minute 59 with 20 seconds, Fink says, "You can go to that place you've never been." He refers to Ross's newfound freedom, now that she no longer has the responsibility of caring for Brightville. The deictic expression, "that place," is vague without understanding their shared context. Later, at an hour and 5 minutes into the movie, Brightville exclaims, "Here we go," as he leads his flock to escape the robots, who see them as intruders. The word "here" points to the immediate location and situation. Reference. Reference connects language to specific entities within the context. For instance, at an hour and 6 minutes, Ross asks Finn, "Why are you awake?" She is surprised because Fink, a fox, is supposed to be hibernating during the harsh winter. The reference "you" directly points to Fink. At the same time, Ross also says, "I needed to know if he made it," explaining to Fink that she turned off her transmitter to check if Brightville safely led his flock. Here, he refers to Brightville. Anaphora. Anaphora connects new and previously mentioned information within the dialogue. For example, at an hour and 11 minutes, Fink tells the animals, "She's the one who got you out of the storm," referring to Ross and her efforts to save them. The pronoun "she" emphasizes Ross's past actions without repeating her name.
Invisible meaning, implicature, and presupposition. One of the first examples that we can find for implicature is when Rose says to Fink, "It is everyone accounted for," and Fink says, maybe one more." Fink implies there might be someone missing, but does not directly state it. Rose is expected to infer that she should act on this vague response.
The second example is when Fink says, "No one likes me,"
and Rose responds, "Not me, but right now we are their only chance." Rose's response implies that despite their unpopularity, their actions are vital for survival. The subtext is that their personal feelings are less important than the greater good. Presupposition. And the line when Bondra said, "You are one of the 6 Rosom lost from a container ship in a typhoon." This presupposes that Rose was part of a group of robots and provides critical background information about how Rose ended up on the island. Speech act theory. Request or command. And the line when Rose says, "Don't give up." Rose tells Finn not to give up. She encourages resilience, and Finn feels motivated to persist. Promise. When Rose says, "Before I shut down, I need you to promise me one thing, a truce." Rose asks for a truce. She requests commitment from the group, and the animals agree to cooperate. Question. When Rose says, "How do you know if you lost someone?" Rose asks Finn a direct question about recognizing love. Rose seeks advice, hinting at their emotional uncertainty and growth as a robot exploring human-like feelings. Order. When Longneck says, "We must descend. Find shelter while this blows over. Stay close." Longneck instructs the group to seek safety and remain together. The command is a protective measure during the storm. The group obeys, following Longneck's lead to take cover and ensure safety.
Rice's Carpenter principle explains how communication works effectively when speakers and listeners cooperate. It includes 4 maxims: quantity, quality, relation, and manner.
We can find an example of maxim of quality in the scene where Rose says, "I might have turned off the transmitter. Even though Barfield doesn't want me here, I need to know if he made it." Rose provides sufficient information about her actions without overloading the conversation, adding to the maxim of quantity. Next, we can find an example of maxim of quality, where Finn says, "Most of you hate me, and I hate most of you. Everyone here hates someone else, but here we are." Finn speaks honestly about the group's dynamics, adding to the maxim of quality by avoiding threats. We can find an example of maxim of relation in the scene where Longneck says, "We must descend. Find shelter while this blows over. Stay close. There. Follow me." Longneck keeps his statement relevant to the urgent situation to guarantee that the group focuses on safety. We can find an example of maxim of manner, where Rose says, "Before I shut down, I need you to promise me one thing, a truce, just while we're in here." Rose is clear by directly asking for a promise of peace. We can find an example of positive politeness in the scene where Rose says, "It is good to see a friend." Rose uses a friendly statement to bond with Finn, showing appreciation and connection. We can find an example of negative politeness in the scene where Rose says, "Not me, but right now we are the only chance." Funny how life works. Rose acknowledges her shared struggles with Finn, while carefully softening her imposition with a reflective tone.
In conclusion, this analysis demonstrates how language relies on context to convey meaning, and how the characters effectively negotiate and construct messages through their interactions. It also highlights the importance of understanding context in the study of semantic and pragmatics.